Good afternoon. My name is Brendan Badstibner, and I'm here to talk to you today about why NCAA student athletes should not be paid. We live in a world where knowledge is power. That power is why you find yourself sitting at an institution or college you are at currently, so that way you may further better yourself and specialize in a field you wish to pursue in the future. Let me ask you this. Have you earned an academic scholarship? Are you proud of that academic scholarship? It's the same exact way for athletes and their athletic scholarships. They put in the time and the effort as well. However, the act of them being paid for trying to be a face of the university equates to that academic scholarship students should also be paid. That would be the fair line. This is why I'm saying athletic students should not be paid. Now, the NCAA offers a multitude of scholarships to schools. For Division II schools, it can be anywhere from 28 to 36. Division I schools, so on and so forth. That's offered in a full scholarship, entitling 36 full tuitions paid for the maximum. Now, those scholarships can be quartered, halved, thirded, tenth, whatever the head coach at the time sees fit for the student athlete. So therefore, these 36 scholarships, if halved, could potentially turn out to be 72. Now, not only does the NCAA offer all these scholarships, there's other ways for student athletes to obtain more money. This falls in to alumni, private institutions, the funding they receive, as well as all the normal methods that normal students have as well, including government aid, different grants, other types of scholarships that you can just go to your university's homepage, look up, and find a list of them. Now, the third thing is also apparel. Sometimes student athletes say, well, we need money, we need to be paid, so that way we can obtain better looking gear, we can look better, we can feel better. There are fundraising options for them to do for that. It just doesn't always fall in, hey, we need more money. Put in the work to obtain that money. Now, this also being said, that student athletes as well as students both have these options. Nobody's stopping a student from going out either and getting grants, etc. One other thing that student athletes and athletes have in common, athletes also say, hey, I won this award, I got this standing in the conference, I should be compensated for that, the school should be blah, 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 I should get a bigger scholarship. That is the same basis as a student, an academic student, a scholar going out, doing a presentation, putting together the work, putting together a study, submitting it to a magazine, a board, anything, bringing recognition back to the university as well as meriting themselves for their field in the future and putting a badge on their chest. It's the same exact reasoning, and they don't ask to be compensated for that, they don't ask to be paid for that, because those students know that it's going to lead further on down the line. As the flip side, for student athletes in the conference for getting merits such as all conference, all state, different types of awards you can win, that merits you as a player, as a person, as well as merits you for potentially playing at the next level. These two coincide. Thirdly, student athletes also have the option to go get work studies as well as part-time jobs. I understand sometimes the sport is very demanding. However, your normal students, scholars, their workload as well as classes is extremely demanding as well. So this does not excuse student athletes from saying, oh, we need to be paid. We should be paid. Normal students constantly work studies, going out, getting jobs, part-time jobs, driving to those jobs, whether they're off campus, close to campus. It's taken up a large portion of their daily life as well, so that way they can afford the same way as student athletes can. If anybody can find time, it should be those student athletes, because not only does this constitute a better work ethic, it also motivates and drives for one to be a harder worker, as well as helps them time management skills, which is an extremely lost cause, even in myself, especially as a student athlete. And I'm also speaking from a student athlete perspective because I play sports, I go to school, as well as work jobs. So there is no excusable effort for anybody, any student athlete, to be excused from saying, hey, I should be paid. And another argument student athletes make is that the NCAA makes billions of dollars based off of profit alone from all the NCAA sports alive. One of the biggest complaints you're going to hear is that the schools get next to nothing compared to that. However, they make those billions, there's a multitude of schools that they fund. On top of this, the allegation of the scholarships returning back home, not only do they grant certain stipends per conference games, conference championships, holding games, holding conference championships, playoff games back to the school, there's a full circle going on that nobody sees or bothers to even look at and look up. So, all in all, NCAA student athletes should not be paid for their time in the sport because they are receiving a athletic scholarship which is diminishing the cost for the academic institution they are at to later pursue the field of study that they want to get into. Because at one point, sports stops for everyone, no matter who you are. And once that happens, you're going to need something to fall back on, and you're going to need something to make a living with. And that is why student athletes should not get paid for any type of endorsements or anything else outside of their athletic scholarship, because normal students do not have that option as well, besides to work and put in the time and effort that they always have. Thank you. Goodbye.